FBI reports death of Lee Andrew Edwards connected to white heroin trafficking network linked to TInubu in US. They say wahala no dey finish. The same USA that refused to, release President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's document related to that, they are still relating him to this issue. Now, as I say, these people, now them be the real problem we they face for Africa. They know waiting day, but they won't go further because of their selfish interest. Welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for coming out here. If you're just joining us, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has told a federal court in the United States that a former Chicago mobster with ties to President Bola Tinubu has died. According to People's Gazette, the FBI said this on Wednesday as part of its latest updates in an ongoing Freedom of International Information lawsuit before the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. In light of receiving information that appears to confirm Mr. Edwards' death, DEA has begun a search for responsive records pertaining to him, the U.S. authorities said in a court filing signed by People's Gazette. According to the reports, officials did not disclose when and how Mr. Edward died. On September 15, 2008, Sahara Reporters reported that facts had emerged that Tinubu, a former Lagos governor, might have been involved in a white heroin trafficking network which operated in Chicago and some parts of Indiana and led by the Adeboyega Marzi Akinde between 1988 and 1993. The sources of the white heroin was identified as Mr. Edward, who was incarcerated for attempting to murder a federal agent while the agent was executing a search warrant on him. According to the verified complaint for forfeiture in case number 93C4483 obtained by Sahara Reporters, which was filed on July 26, 1993, before the Honorable Judge Nedberg of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, the U.S. government urged the court to order the forfeiture of funds in accounts numbers 263-226-700 held by First Heritage Bank in the name of Bola Tinubu. Funds in account 394 831 34 93483396 46502 79566 100400220 399-36404 and 399-36383 held by Citibank N.A. in the name of Bola Tinubu, and funds in account 52050 8951 952 52050 89451 952 52050 89451 935 held by Citibank in the name of Bola Tinubu, because there were probable cause to believe that the funds in Tinubu's bank account represented a proceeds of narcotics trafficking or were monies involved in financial transactions in violations of 18 USC Sessions 1956 and 1957, and therefore was fruitful to the US government. However, in a tactics defense of the ownership of the front, TInubu arrayed in court that the funds belonged to him, his wife, K.O. TInubu, and his surrogate mother, Alhaji Magaji, now deceased, and warranted that they had exclusive rights, title, and interest to the funds. In an affidavit sworn to by Kevin Moses, a special agent with the U.S. International Revenue Service Criminal Investigation Division in support of the verified complaint for forfeiture of TInubu's money held in various bank accounts, the agent gave a vivid account of how he concluded that the funds were proceeds of narcotics transactions in violation of the U.S. law. Mr. Moses arrived at before and during 1988, the government became involved in the investigation of a white heroin trafficking network operating in Chicago and Indiana. The investigation disclosed that an individual known as Lee Andrew Edward was a source of white heroin. The government sources provided information about the Lee Andrew Edward, including the identity of a telephone number which was activated in an electronic paper. The paper, according to him, was to be called to place an order for white heroin. According to Mr. Moses, the paper was subscribed to by one Adegbenga Mazi Akinde, who at that time was a resident of Chicago. Mr. Moses further read that during February 1988, an individual named Abiodun arrived in the USA from Nigeria, and during an investigation by the government, Abiodun Agbebele disclosed that Akinde was his uncle who provided him an apartment, in Indiana. According to him, Mr. Akinde returned to Nigeria in 1990. However, before he left, he instructed Agbele to serve as a source of white heroin for Mr. Lee Andrew Edwards, as a result of which Agbele sold white heroin for Lee Andrew on numerous occasions. Following a tip-off, Agbele sold one ounce of white heroin to a law enforcement agent undercover on November 28, 1999 for $7,000 and was subsequently arrested. After his arrest, Agbele agreed to cooperate with the law enforcement agent regarding the white heroin distribution and network of Akinde. According to Agbele, Akinde controlled the operation of white heroin from Nigeria in conjunction with other individuals in Nigeria and the USA. One other individual who worked with Akinde, according to the affidavit, was identified as Bola TInubu, who later became the governor of Lagos State from 1999 to 2007 and is currently Nigerian's president. Me, I know say, as far as this matter is concerned, if Nigeria government may dem continue, to dey hide am. But as these people, they no go forget this matter. They will keep on linking President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to this. It's so sad. I weep for my country. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section if you are just joining us.